Kofi Annan, the diplomat who spoke for peace, 1938 to 2018. In a world divided by power, war, and fear, there was once a man who believed peace was not an ideal, but a duty. His name was Kofi Annan, and for more than a decade, he stood at the heart of the United Nations, not as a ruler, but as a voice of reason in the storm. Kofi Atta Annan was born in 1938 in Kumasi, Ghana, then a British colony. His name, in the Akan language, means born on a Friday. He came from a family of chiefs, people who believed that leadership was not about command, but about service. From a young age, he learned that dignity could exist even in poverty, and that respect could outlast power. He studied in Ghana, then in the United States and Switzerland, learning how different the world could be, and how desperately it needed understanding. He joined the United Nations in 1962, a young idealist in a vast bureaucracy. Few noticed him then. But quietly, steadily, through decades of crises and reforms, he rose, not by ambition, but by integrity. In 1997, Kofi Annan became the Secretary General of the United Nations, the first Black African to hold the position. The world he inherited was fractured: wars in the Balkans, genocide in Rwanda, tension in the Middle East, and a growing divide between rich and poor nations. He did not raise his voice. He did not command armies. But his calm carried weight. He once said, "We may have different religions, different languages, different colored skin, but we all belong to one human race." Under his leadership, the UN became not just a forum for governments, but a moral conscience for the world. Yet peace is never easy. When he was the head of UN peacekeeping in 1994, the Rwandan genocide erupted, nearly 1 million lives lost while the world hesitated. Annan carried that guilt for the rest of his life. He vowed never again to let silence be complicity. It became the fire that shaped his mission as Secretary General. He pushed for human rights, HIV, AIDS awareness, education, and climate cooperation long before they were global priorities. He fought against the invasion of Iraq in 2003, calling it illegal and unjustified, standing alone against the tide of power. When the UN faltered, he did not hide behind titles. He said simply, "The United Nations is not perfect, but it is indispensable." In 2001, Kofi Annan and the United Nations received the Nobel Peace Prize for their work for a better organized and more peaceful world. The Nobel Committee praised his commitment to human rights and the fight against poverty. But when asked what the award meant to him, he smiled and said, "It is not about me. It is about what we can do together." He never saw peace as the absence of conflict. To him, peace was the presence of justice, opportunity, and dignity. After leaving office in 2006, he did not retire to comfort. He became a global mediator, from Kenya to Syria, always choosing dialogue over division. Even when criticized, he stayed graceful, believing that patience was the highest form of strength. He founded the Kofi Annan Foundation, dedicated to youth empowerment, democracy, and sustainable development. He inspired a new generation of African leaders to believe that diplomacy could be as powerful as revolution. Kofi Annan passed away in 2018, surrounded by his family in Switzerland, the same country where his journey had begun more than half a century earlier. He was 80 years old. He made Africa proud. Kofi Annan once said, "You are never too young to lead, and never too old to learn." He led with compassion. He listened more than he spoke. And when he spoke, the world paused. Because his words came not from power, but from peace. Even now, his legacy lives wherever nations try to talk instead of fight. Wherever justice walks beside mercy. And wherever one human chooses to understand another. Because peace, he taught us, is not a dream. It is our shared responsibility.